Out of all the films that we are going to cover this week, this one has the most modern feel. Not because of how it looks. In fact, it looks old. And I almost didn't watch it because at first glance, aesthetically, it is bleh. But it felt like pieces of a bunch of movies that I like. Drive, Nightcrawler, Bowfinger. This was written and directed by the same guy that wrote Superfly in 1972. And if you ask me, by the time he got to this film, he got better. Honestly, this is the film they should have remade. But I get it. I mean, it's too meta. In this film, Calvin Lockhart plays Jason, a guy who dreams big, thinking that he can become a movie star. He has produced and starred in a film called The Baron, with money from a childhood friend, Coke Man. Feel free to guess what his friend does for a living. Like, I don't know if kids are watching this, so let's just say he sells soda pop and other party favors. When Jason asks for a couple more dollars to finish the film, specifically a grocery bag full of money, Coke Man becomes worried and tells him to get all of the money back. It just so happens that Coke Man actually got the money from his boss, Joey. Joey gave him the money to expand his soda empire to a more affluent part of town. Now, with all the confusion, the inevitable hijinks ensue. What is this film trying to tell us? This film feels a little modern because, unlike most of the other films on this list, nothing is really played for laughs. I mean, there are times when I laughed, but I also pushed my best friend into a creek on our grade 6 class trip. So I may not be the best judge of character. This film asks us the question, is it possible to exceed the limitation that society and others have set for you? Now, I'm going to venture into some spoilers. Feel free to stop here and go watch the movie first and then come back. Or stay with me. If you do leave, could you bring me back something? All right. For all those who stayed, thank you. For those who left and didn't bring me back anything, wow. From the very beginning of the film, the theme of doubt and the potential of the black man is expressed. The movie starts with a scene from the fictitious movie, The Baron, where the Baron, played by Jason, played by Lockhart, where Baron Wolfgang von Tripp, racing car driver and hero to millions, pulls up to a group of kids playing lacrosse in front of a fancy house. The Baron gets out of his Rolls Royce and then asks the one black kid, "What are you doing here?" As though the black guy with the German name and the lowest rank of European nobility driving a Rolls Royce is shocked to see another person of color. The fictitious Baron doubts that the child could possibly belong here, but he's wrong. The child informs him that he lives there. Then when the Baron reveals his fancy race car, while all the kids are like, "Wow," the white kid says, "I bet it isn't real." The black child defends the Baron, saying, "I bet that it is real." Even at this young age, the tension of what is possible for this black man to achieve is on the surface. At some point, he tells him, if you have enough money, you can buy anything in the world. But even in the movie, in the real movie, not the movie, in the movie, it's very meta. Even in the movie, that thought is a fiction. We'll come back to that later. Throughout the film, at almost every step, when he says, "I can do this," he's basically told, why not aim lower and be as much as is expected of you? He goes to LA, talks to another black man about selling the movie. The movie execs love the film, but they don't want him to star in it. They want it to be redone for a white actor. And they want a white producer, effectively pushing him out of his own film. He comes back and Coke Man tells him to go sell drugs to his rich friends and give up on this idea of a movie, going so far as to take him back to the ghetto where they grew up to remind him of what they are. His corporate black friend, Bruce Brown, refuses to support the movie, and in the end, giving him only $2,000 of the $300,000 he needs to pay off Coke Man and his boss, Joey. Lewis, the husband of the woman credited as Wasp Lady, assumes that Jason must be a cab driver because, I mean, How else would this man know his wife? Joke's on him. Jason doesn't drive a horse and buggy. He had sex with your wife in the back of one. Mama Lou, the wealthy old woman that he pimps himself out to pay off his debts, at one point asked him, I thought you gave up on the movie. The only person who believes in him is his wife. But by the time she tells him outright that she can support them because she got picked up for several commercials, he's already in mentally too deep. And how can I forget Joey? Joey is a piece of garbage, and I could not wish death on a worse person. He is every type of prejudice and should run headfirst into a brick wall. When Jason inevitably gets the money and pays Joey back, Joey cannot see Jason as a free man. In his mind, Jason can only be in service to him, which brings us back to the line that he tells the kid at the start of the movie. If you have enough money, you can buy anything in the world. But you can't really buy respect, and you can't buy your way around the glass ceiling that people have already constructed for you. But, I mean, this is a Blaxploitation film starring Calvin Lockhart, so the black man always wins. So basically, it doesn't matter if everyone inside and outside of your community thinks that you should give up on your dreams. This movie is telling you that you should pick up a fork and stab your dreams by the throat. It'll make sense if you watch the movie.
What am I doing here? I spent my whole life trying to be fantastic. And here I sit, talking to a piece of like you.
If you're looking for an independent filmmaker to stalk on the internet or throw $300,000 at to make their passion project, besides me, here's a list of local Bahamian filmmakers you may or may not know that I think you should check out. There's also Jeff. Jeff should be on that list, but I mean, I know he does a lot of stuff, but I can't remember his last name. Actually, if you can remember Jeff's last name, as well as other local indie filmmakers that I didn't put up because of my carpal tunnel, please put them in the comment section below. And do not forget to mark your calendars for Calvin Lockhart Day. This year, Monday, October 19th, all day. And if you like this content, consider buying me some coffee on Ko-fi. Link in the description. Why?
A few favors.
Yeah, a few favors. Nigga!